My guys do roads 3 times a day, sometimes 4. County roads are even more than that. The guy on Stolting, right at the end of Roar, parks right there. I don't care if my 12 hours can slide into him. He's gonna take both sides of the car off, and our insurance is gonna pay it. His insurance ain't gonna pay it. Park there during no parking. Stolting Street, like, if you're to go down Roar Street, if you're going down Roar Street, it's a house right here. Every year we go through this. That's great. I love it. The whole thing is to give people, you know, I mean, I didn't pressure anybody to give tickets, but when there wasn't no snow out.
Yeah, we were right. Well, I give them a break if like there's one where the driver is full and
Right.
driver is full and you're in the street, there's nobody else on you guys around. If you have an empty driveway, start going highway.
Well, one guy's like, I got 6 cars in my house. I guess I sure want a bigger house with a driveway.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Park in the yard.
You don't understand, I got 5 kids.
That's not my problem. You may.
That's when you were living in your house, you should have been thinking about the parking.
That's right, God's country.
What do you got about 2? Oh, you guys got more out there now.
Oh, yeah.
Ontario.
Yeah, we got nothing during the Richmond class, and then turn around and we got, yesterday was out there snow blowing, after all of it.
Last Wednesday, I think I was out there. Like 3 weeks.
Yeah, we get nothing. Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. That's what we
They
did.
came, so we had a little bit start Friday afternoon, Friday, a little Saturday, so. it
That's what
wasn't
we had
bad.
last week, right? Before that was all like here,
Hey, Art. No, we were pretty fortunate. My wife, though, she was out of school 2 or 3 days last week because the teacher and the superintendent live in Orchard Park. So a bunch of these people, by the time the Cowboys Park was closed, the traffic man, so they couldn't get them in. So they shut down the schools. Or Wilson stayed open because they still got enough teachers to show. Yeah, so you can't film. I don't know I can't remember what the one I went through. Cat?
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'll let this guy, he's not
Lucky?
They've done that.
Good. Can't complain too much. Big stuff.
Maybe not.
We're gonna be done before you are.
Not to recall, like the whole thing, that came out in, January.
We'll be done.
So I-
Well, don't worry about it, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss that.
Yeah, no, I'll check. I thought I sent everybody, but,
How was your drive?
And, that was just so cheap, I keep in mind, so. Kicking in.
yeah, I, well, something, but at least I didn't.
I called.
Even Don?
Yeah.
I did. Debbie actually sent it to me. So we can go. Yep, took care of it on, I got the copies done, got it all figured out and gave it back to her. She says, okay, I'll take care of it. Okay, thank you.
Quiet night, huh?
I got a piece of paper here Larry sent me, wants me to read off, it's like 3/4 of the page on our computer.
Here, give it to me, Gil.
Take me more than 10 minutes.
Gil, why don't you give it to me?
That's what I don't want, I don't wanna get everyone.
I was gonna bring, I was gonna bring a good page and bring it
Yeah,
down, I didn't know.
You this morning.
Slippery up.
You want me to?
This is a slide. With the bills.
Blowing over. Yeah, you come up here.
Steps all over it. Everything goes in there. It's down to 5 minutes.
Morning?
Yep.
You know,
But yes,
you ever notice when I'm up there, sometimes I jump?
My sister sent me a text that said, "Oh crap," at the end of the game. I sent her a text back. I hope Taylor Swift is on TV.
Bingo, bingo last night.
I didn't think they were happening.
Karen Sigmund.
You're the ultimate.
He called me and said, "Why couldn't one of the kids play?" I said, "Oh, if you only hit about 4 There was a lot of cars.
You know, that was the problem. I knew he was gonna frickin' choke.
Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
We got you.
Can you hear me?
So about 7, 8
Okay.
o'clock.
Don't let him get
Sir, are you here for the zoning board?
Yes.
You're in the hallway on the left.
Oh, thank you so much.
Down the end of the hall.
Almost got an audience.
Way to clear the room, Don. Are you guys for the zoning board?
I got about a 45 minute.
Rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we pray that you grant wisdom to all who are in authority, that order and justice may be upheld to the benefit of all
The zoning board always.
and guide us to better serve the people of our community. Restrain those who seek to destroy our government. We ask your divine wisdom to rest upon our leaders, to guide them and protect them.
For the record, Mr. Hellwig is off tonight. All other board members are present. Any public input tonight? No public. Approval of the minutes, January 2nd, 2024. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll second. And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. And I'm sorry, that was the reorganizational meeting. Also, January 2nd, 2024, town board meeting. Can I have a resolution, please?
So moved.
And second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, minutes are approved. Excuse me, approval of bill payment of January 22nd, 2024, voucher number 2023-2236 through 202-32400 for a total amount of $622,832.03. Can I have a motion to approve, please?
Second.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Department heads, Paul Seaman.
Nothing really to report. Got our first batch of snow here last week. Fun. I'd rather be in Florida. That's all I got, unless you guys got any questions for me.
Oh, what's going on at Lockport and Walmart where we lost lost the signal head?
We're waiting for North Tonawanda. They were supposed to come out here the next day and put it back up. Then we got the storm. So we had to fix the actual signal light because it was hanging by its wires.
Right.
We brought the signal light back to our shop and fixed it. We're just waiting for them to come back out with their actual platform truck. And we're gonna help with it. I haven't bothered them because my sign guys went off and there is still one light up there, but hopefully later on this week when it warms up a little bit. I just didn't want to put a truck in the middle of that intersection when we had all those slippery conditions, because that's all I could see, is I don't want to they're nice enough to come out, I hate to see them get their truck wiped out when they come out to do me a favor.
Art Clark is off tonight, he is on vacation. Mike Rinaldi, Recreation Department.
Good evening.
Thanks, Mike.
Hi, how are you?
Two quick things. First, boys and girls basketball leagues start this week over at the youth center. They will run Tuesdays, Wednesdays from now until middle and late March. Both leagues are full. And January 2nd, we started our T-ball, coach pitch, baseball, and softball registrations. We had, as of Friday, 104 registered, with an additional 12 to 15 that came in today, so we're off to a pretty good start. And that goes until March 22nd. That is it.
Anybody have any questions for Mike?
Mike, that basketball, do we just play amongst ourselves, the town?
We do. It's just a town-run league. We do get referees. The older boys will have 2 refs. We just scorekeepers, full players, volunteer coaches.
I'm just gonna
It's
ask.
just like rec league.
Fourth and fifth, so you maybe have, what, 3, 4 teams maybe, or how many?
4 teams in each age group.
Okay, good.
So they'll play each other like 2 or 3 times. Hey.
Mike Clark.
Good evening. Before I talk about my only topic today, I want to thank outgoing retired Alan Nelson, worked for my department as the electrical inspector part-time, approximately 12 years with us. And Alan's he's decided that I'm done, I'm hanging up my badge, and he's retiring, or he retired as the first of the year. So that leaves us an opening for another part-time electrical inspector. Currently, Joe Malloy's been doing it all by himself. And so we've been trying to find another person that can jump right in and do that, fill that role. That gentleman that I have here requesting approval from the board, his name is Jeff Leadoff. And Jeff's background, he is an electrical inspector. He's also an electrician by trade. He currently does work for a couple of the other towns too, under the same guideline of a part-time situation. In fact, he used to run his own outfit as far as electrical inspections. So with that, and that's going to be one of the resolutions that we have for today, to hire Jeff as a part-time electrical inspector. And that's all.
Any questions for Mike, Ben? Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Ellie, our assessor.
It's exemption time. Exemptions are due in my office. It's exemption time, and all exemptions are due in my office by March 1st. And that's all I have.
Do you have any questions for Ellen? Thank you. Councilors, any reports on it?
Let's see, we had a CPR class, the only individuals that showed up was from our department. We had no other students from the rest of the town. We will schedule another one if you feel that we need it. Also, we're looking probably end of February, beginning of March, doing another weapon safety class like we did a couple of years ago. So, that's pretty much what we got going on.
We do have a resolution tonight to hire 2 constables, both local lieutenants. And as you know, we lost one of our constables, and we've had others that have taken on a full-time position. So this is really to fill our daytime needs. Just so you guys have a heads up. Anything else?
Nope.
Thank you. Anyone here?
Good evening, everyone. We do have a few items on our agenda this evening. The first of which being our planning board report from the end of December, beginning of January. So I'll go through that real quick. It's from our December 20th meeting. Our first item is a sketch plan for an auto repair business. The applicant proposes to use the existing building at 3967 Niagara Falls Boulevard for an auto repair business. Partial zone commercial and falls within the overlay district. Auto repair is allowed in the overlay district and commercial through a special use permit. The planning board discussed several items that should be reviewed and considered, including providing adequate parking and access to the building, as the lot is a very non-typical configuration. It's a triangle-shaped lot. and as well as what improvements are actually allowed within the DOT right-of-way. Much of the front of the parcel falls within the DOT right-of-way. The applicant was advised to review the town zoning code as well as the process and site plan checklists. No action was required or taken. The next item was a sketch plan for townhouse development. The applicant proposes to construct 58 townhomes on a 10-acre reconfigured parcel at 3200 Niagara Falls Boulevard. That's right across Nash from Sawyer Creek Hotel, and it's GT Homes. The project will provide 4 ranch-style townhomes and 25 two-story townhomes. The parcels are zoned commercial and fall partially within the overlay district. Residential is not permitted in the overlay district or commercial, so the properties would require rezoning through the town board. The road through this site would potentially be private and under the responsibility of an HOA. However, a final decision has not yet been made. The planning board discussed several issues and items that need to be reviewed, including but not limited to the road needing to meet town standards and design criteria if it was private, potential minor subdivision requirements, setbacks, utilities, and stormwater management. No action was required or taken. The next item is a special use permit site plan for adult use retail cannabis dispensary. The applicant proposes at least 1,200 square foot of retail space in the existing building at 3048 Niagara Falls Boulevard for a dispensary. Again, parcel zone commercial and falls within the overlay district. Dispensary is allowed in the commercial zone with a special use permit. The planning board discussed several items with the applicant, including parking and an abbreviated list of items required for the site plan, since it's an existing site with no exterior improvements proposed. Planning board scheduled a public hearing for the special use permit on February 7th, 2024 at 6 p.m. No other action was taken. The next item was another adult use retail cannabis dispensary. This one was proposed right across the street at 6935 Ward Road at the Solidays building. Partial is zoned restricted commercial. For the town's adult use cannabis law, cannabis dispensaries are not allowed in the RC zone. It was also determined that the existing building did not meet the required setback from school grounds, so no action was required or taken, and I do not believe that it will be back for that site. Next item is a site plan special use permit, minor subdivision for the Town Line Solar Project. Again, you've heard me talk about this for the past almost 2 years. But the applicant proposes to construct a 5 megawatts utility scale solar energy system at 6714 Town Line Road. Project proposes to subdivide the parcel into 3 lots, which is a minor subdivision, with the solar project being accessed from Shawnee Road. The applicant was not present at the meeting, but agreed to notify the ZBA regarding their proposed fence height variance and notify the town board about the proposed minor subdivision. Planning board scheduled a public hearing for January 17th, 2024 at 6 p.m. No other action was taken. That public hearing actually did not happen because the planning board meeting was canceled that night due to weather, so they will be on the first meeting in February agenda as well. And I believe that's one of the things that's going on in the zoning board meeting down there is they're going for a height variance to make their fence and screening higher. The last item on the plan was a site plan for a change of operation, but the applicant requested to be placed on a later meeting agenda, so that project was not reviewed. First meeting in 2024 was on January 3rd, and there was one item, a sketch plan for tri-community ambulance expansion. The applicant proposes to demolish the existing buildings at 6252 Ward Road. That's the southwest corner of the ward at Lockport. Yes. They'll demolish that and construct an approximately 10,000 square foot addition to the existing facility at 6276 and construct associated parking with that. Parcel zone residential and the existing emergency response facility is allowed in that zoning with the hierarchical RR zoning. The expanded facility would allow tri-community to have the ambulances, offices, and training areas all in one place, as they currently rent space for offices and training on Indica Drive. Planning board discussed several items that should be reviewed and considered, including traffic, parking, drainage, and county and state jurisdictions over curb cuts to Lockport Road and Port Road, respectively. No action was required or taken. That summarizes our first
Question on this tri-community.
Yes.
Are they looking to enter also the Lockport Road?
I believe they have their existing entrance for the ambulance building. We were gonna add another entrance, two-way off of Ward Road. And I think the sketch plan showed maybe a one-way exit only on the north side to Lockport Road. But that's all their sketch plan showed so far.
Just wondering, because that piece of property on the corner, it's very narrow coming out of the water. Of course, that's something you guys will have to consider.
Well, and the county will have to consider whether or not they're gonna allow that right there, so. Any other questions on those?
I have a question.
Yeah.
That cannabis, 3048, I can look it up, but
Mhm.
you can go right up. Is that the old taggers or old?
It's a little strip plaza right now. It's got like a coffee shop in it. I think there's a smoke shop in it, or was a smoke shop in it. Cannon Bottle Return. I don't know what the name of the plaza is, I'm sorry.
Bridges Chiropractic used to be there too.
Okay.
Okay, that's it for our planning board report, and really the other three items we have are in our motion packet. The first is our 2024 annual engineering contract. I did send that over to Matt a couple days early last week, just so you could have some eyes on it, but basically the contract stayed the same, other than changing the dates in there, and the fee that went up in accordance with our estimate of expenditures from August. So we have that motion in our packet. The next is for our 2024 GIS services proposal, which again is the exact same numbers as last year. There's a certain portion of it that is lump sum that covers the application hosting and the online subscription for our GIS. And then there's a remainder time and expense phase for us to assist the Water Sewer Department in developing extra tools and collecting their extra GIS data. And the last item in our packet is our MS4 permit assistance proposal for 2024. We made that number the same as we did last year, although we did ask for budgeting for a little bit more for this year, as they just came out with a new MS4 permit. We've been operating under the old one for the past, I think, 5 years since it expired. It's taken them that long to get a new permit in place. So we're just now starting to go through this new permit and figure out all the new things that are required. So once we have a grasp on the things that we're gonna have to get into place this year, we'll probably come back to the town with a different, with an additional authorization for that. But we wanted to get our base authorization going as soon as possible. I actually was on a conference call, 2 hours today with the DEC just to start going through it.
Question on that, would be worth putting out to another meeting, do you have the exact numbers?
Well, there's stuff like the meeting today that would go on this authorization if it was authorized now. And there's still the basic things that we do on a day-to-day basis. If Bill Youngman calls me tomorrow and has a question on the site for inspections, that's what we usually use our MS4 time and expense portion for. So that is our last thing on our agenda. Before I sit down, I'd just like to give one more point. We did get our Hoover Road culvert grant application in on Friday. With special thanks to Paul for some extra letters and photos that he helped us get for that. Again, this is that Bridge New York project that we recently got for Plaza Drive, which covers 95%. Hoover Road is a culvert, so if we get that one, it covers 100% of the funding for that. So we did get an application in on time, and the last thing I wanted to mention is, if you guys remember, in December, we asked for an authorization to update the town's emergency response plans and cybersecurity assessments through the Water Sewer Department. The town authorized us for town to expend $7,500 for that. I just want to let you know, I believe we completed that for around $2,500, so we were way under budget on that. So
You're gonna send us a check?
well, don't even have to. We're never even gonna bill you for it. So, but you know, we did have to. You know, there was a lot of assumptions we had to make to get an authorization in place to go forward with that, and thankfully we're conservative and did meet it all. So, any questions?
Hey, Ken, I do have a question.
Yes.
Any status updates on, development that was proposed by builders? I see that there's a petition.
You know what? We have not heard a peep since that planning board meeting that they came with a sketch plan. But it seems like every couple weeks we get another group of letters or emails, or that, I believe they even formed an organization up there, a resident organization, I forget what the acronym is for it, but they keep sending in correspondence, and, you know, really there's nothing we can do until something progresses, or maybe they change their mind and go somewhere else. Part of me would like to forward all those emails and things to them so they can see what they're, what's gonna be waiting for them if they do come back with that.
Well, they, last time they were in was probably 3 months ago, and then we sent them back with feedback, and then that's the last we heard.
I think they just came in with a sketch plan to the planning board, just showing what they were proposing. And,
But that was at least 3 months.
oh, at least, I'm gonna say maybe 5 or 6 months ago. So, yeah, we haven't heard things since.
Okay, thank you.
Motions, Madam Clerk?
First motion was one of those conventions to authorize the supervisor to sign Wendell's contract for providing county engineering and planning services for 2024 in accordance with their proposal letter dated January 2nd, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again from Wendell to authorize Wendell to provide GIS support services during 2024 in accordance with Wendell's proposal dated January 18th, 2024. A lump sum fee of $6,979 will be paid for WMA site hosting and the ARC GIS online subscription, and a time and expense budget not to exceed $5,000 will be established for GIS GPS support and training as described in the proposal. Total authorization for $11,000.
So moved. Second.
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion, again, Wendell, to authorize Wendell Sports to provide stormwater management program assistance in the year 2024 in accordance with their proposal letter dated January 18th, 2024 for a time and expense estimated fee of $9,800.
So moved. Second. And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from Highway Department to approve the attendance of the Highway Department Superintendent Paul Sigmund to attend Advocacy Day in Albany, New York, March 5th and March 6th. And it says 2020, that was for the site close.
Yeah, they're there.
4, and the respective one-night accommodation and all the costs associated with that.
So moved. Second.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from Highway and Water Sewer, resolve to approve the request of Paul Sigmund, Highway Superintendent, to send Frank Pavasich, and the request of Mark Clark, Water Sewer Superintendent, to send Tim Cronin to Stevens Truck School to get a New York State mandated training so they can acquire their Class 1 driver's license at a cost of $3,900 per employee.
Before we put that to a motion, Paul, I know you got a brief explanation as to what this is, why we're doing it.
Because it's New York State.
Just so you know, Paul, I did a supervisor's meeting last week, and other towns are paying more than we're paying.
Yeah, I've heard of paying over $4,000. New York State's requiring them to have so much class time by a certified instructor before they can even go to get their license now. So the Stevens Driving School was looking around, there weren't a lot of them around anyways, but they were the best price. They have about a 98% success ratio, and they will take them for 2 road tests. So they'll have classroom time and actual physical driving time. Be twice a week, hour and a half each time, and they will do it on regular time during their normal hours of work.
And they'll come out of this with their
Class B.
test, okay.
Let's hope.
Any questions for Paul? Thank you. And a second. And we have a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the assessor and town attorney, resolve to approve and authorize the town attorney to sign an consent order in the tax assessment case of Van Point LLC et al. Versus the town of Wheatfield. Which is Vantage Point is Indicon and all that, I believe, it's the Bridgestone facility that
Correct.
they make, seats for Honda vehicles.
Yes, correct.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
And all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the constables, resolved to hire Michael Morris and Trevor Wentz as part-time constables at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specifications of a part-time constable, pending human resources, and approval of human resources in the Niagara County Criminal Background.
Just before we put the motion, these gentlemen have their training, so that's not a requirement. So that's, I mean, it is a requirement, so that's a good thing. And this will fill in, I know we mentioned it earlier, you know, we lost Barry, and we've had other people who got a full-time job, so this will help fill our daytime needs.
So, I got just a question for a second. Is that Trevor once broken?
Yes, it is.
Paul Wentz,
I'll second it.
and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Next motion from the building department, resolved to hire Jeff Leadoff as a part-time electrical inspector at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to the job specification of a part-time electrical inspector and pending approval of human resources and a Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved.
Second.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next, from Highway Department, resolved to authorize a request of Paul Sigmund, Highway Superintendent, to purchase a new Ford one-ton dump truck from Van Border Ford on Onondaga bid on Gov. 106-19-2024 for $68,614.22 to be paid from the Highway Department's 2024 equipment budget.
So moved. Second. And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Final motion from the town clerk, resolved to appoint Kathleen Harrington now as a Marion officer.
So moved.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
That's it for the motions. That's it.
Okay, Bill, is that?
I don't have anything this evening.
Bill, we're talking.
The Wheatfield and Hampton volunteers are trying something different this month. We're gonna get together on Saturday morning. This Saturday morning, the 27th at 3:30 at the community center. We have some, we got some research needs that we're asking Justin Hager, some historian for his help. So he's able to attend at that time, so we're gonna give it a try. And that's all.
Okay. Thank you, Brandon.
My question would be when you ask Dave to speak about the Hunt Street Bridge, so I can wait for the leak off and ask him. Or a culvert or bridge or whatever, if he has any update.
The only thing I want to bring up is Matt and I were on a conference call with the water keepers today. And as you know, we have money to, reclaim or restore the property on 2020 River Road. And the water keepers have funds available to further enhance the property, which will connect to the Greenway Trail. So it was a good meeting, and, we're going to meet sometime in February with the water keepers and, maybe like around the RDA. So it looks like they have money available to assist in that, reclamation of that property on the road, which will, again, as a reminder, that is the only piece of property that Wheatfield has for public access, to the river, in Wheatfield. So, hopefully that will, start working, or start happening this spring. And, you know, as it goes on, guys, I'll give you more reports, and, what's going to happen, what our need must be. So that's it for me. Dave, what do you have?
Don't let anybody else go first?
Sure. Change seats, Dave.
Yeah, there you go. I have a couple of quick things.
Just want to let everybody know that the Economic Development, the last meeting approved putting together what we call a business productivity program. We took $1 million out of the ARPA funds to make it available for small businesses to really advance their technology. A lot of the businesses today are behind the times and they can't compete, so we made some funds available for them to technologicalize, if you will, their process for manufacturing. You get a hold of Mike Cassell at Economic Development and he can introduce you to that program. Ambulance is doing good, call numbers are good, response times are good, they're pretty busy. We're looking at extending the commercial ambulances in addition to the 2 the county has. Haven't yet decided that. We have to look at the numbers to find out exactly what the volumes are, whether we want to spend some additional funds as the contract currently expires in February. I had mentioned before the Boyd Job Corps in Medina. Friday, Claudia Penny's office put out a press release that has happened, so that the resources are available to us. They obviously are looking for students. Don Jablonski at the county and our Education Training Department is getting space for them at the Trot Building where they were before. Also, they're probably have space also in Penny's office, which is right across the street from the courthouse. And with that said, as I had mentioned before, keep in mind that the services that you can ask for out of the Iroquois Job Corps, for electricians, plumbers, they have a nursing program, electricians, whatever you need, carpentry, it's available to you for the asking. Things like, I use them to do a pavilion at the Conservation Club, and that's available. And also with that, keep in mind that I have the community partnership funds, which I can make available to you based on what your ask is, that could very easily pay for a lot of the materials. So you can wind up with a really nice project, like we put new dugouts in the ball field down at Wilson one year. They bring the people there, all the students supervise, they do excellent work. We have no liability, it's all handled through the federal program with the Iroquois Job Corps. I'll give you the contact information for the gentleman down there if you want to give him a call directly, talk to him, see what they got to offer. Okay.
Is there a chance that we could meet with these folks to discuss, we have some projects coming up, in the spring. One is a pavilion, and we're doing transportation for that. Will I meet with you or somebody that represents them?
Actually represents them. I'll give you the contact information, CC me on it. I'm actually going to be meeting with them. It's been canceled due to weather. They're going to come up to Penny's office and introduce themselves in their programs. I was going to meet with them. I'll let you know when, if somebody's available. It has not been rescheduled yet.
I would like to sit down with them when possible, discuss some of what we're doing.
Absolutely.
They may be able to assist our recreation department too.
Yeah, we can always take a ride down to the Alabama swamps, down there in the Iroquois Job Corps area. Right there, the swamps on 63. But let me know, we can set something up. It's a federal program. It's great for the students, and it's good for us.
Sure.
Take advantage. And that's.
Another question, do you have any update on that Hunt Street bridge / culvert? I know at one time you were talking about possibly using some funds to rebuild over in Burkle.
Yeah, we know that they ran into all sorts of environmental issues and stuff, I remember. Migratory birds or something there also. But I haven't seen that raise its head since way back when. But no, I don't have any more information. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. And there is no public for it. Our next meeting is February 12th, 2024, 7 o'clock. I'll make a motion to adjourn. And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, guys.
and I wore this hat in Florida. We went to Florida one night for dinner, and some guy from, honestly, something was like laughing at me and everything. I said, let's have a try this out.
What's happening, Paul?
You can wear your hat.
It was breezy, and I don't like it on my ears.
It's windy out there.
It's horrible.
It's terrible. Exactly. Take it easy.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, gentlemen.